Hey guys, today is finally the big day where we're going to test my race tech suspension and do lap times and compare it to the stock standard suspension that comes from Honda. And I've seen other YouTubers like Jeff Walker do this with their bikes and get results around 2 seconds faster, which is a huge big deal. So I'm really excited to try it. So you guys can follow me along on the GoPro on the screen directly, as well as I will put a timer on the screen so you can follow the lap timing. Okay? So let's get started. Okay, so while I'm getting ready for my warm-up here, I'll just explain how I do lap timing. I'll do best out of 3 laps, and then I'll show you guys the GoPro footage of the fastest lap. First with the stock suspension, and then with the race tech suspension afterwards. Okay, and then I'll also show you the segment lap times on screen and tell you how I do that. Notice I have my feet on the foot pegs doing the warm-up here, and I'm not clearing that jump because the engine is not warm yet. Coming into a fast 4th gear turn here, feet on the foot pegs in the turn, and out again. Okay, here we go. Now we're gonna do the fastest lap with the stock suspension. And by the way, this footage is from several weeks earlier, which means the track was in a different condition. Actually, the track was a lot smoother. So this makes this bike test even more exciting because, of course, the question is, can the race tech suspension make a faster lap time even though the track has become more rough? That's the question we're gonna answer soon. And now we got the first segment lap time. And the way I do the segment lap times is that in my video editing program, I cut the frame, I cut the footage right before a takeoff. So right here is the next cut, right there. So I basically paused the video footage in my editing program right before the takeoff, so I just see the edge of the takeoff in the bottom of the screen. And then I'll cut that video clip into a separate clip. Then the display length of the clip will be displaying the exact segment time. Okay, and now the final corner and the last 2 jumps here, and then we'll have all the lap times. So here I will just freeze the frame for just a second so you can see how I cut the video footage right before the takeoff. And we got our fastest lap time with the stock suspension, 1 minute and 3.8 seconds. And we also got all the segment times that we can now compare with the race tech suspension segment time. So let's go and do that. So here we go. Now we got the race tech suspension on the bike. And remember, it's more rough track conditions, so it's not as smooth as the previous lap. So let's see how the race tech suspension does on each segment. And also, of course, if the race tech suspension overall lap time is shorter than the stock suspension. Okay, and after the next turn we will have our first segment time with the race tech suspension on the rough track. So let's see how that goes. There we go. So that was at 25.6 seconds on all the straight sections with the turns. That's exactly the same as with the stock suspension. So remember, that's a win. It can do the same time on a rougher track. Okay, and now we got our second segment time. And as you can see, that's 15.1, and that's 0.4 seconds slower than the stock suspension. And this is exactly what I predicted, because the rhythm section has been rebuilt so the jumps are steeper and it feels a lot slower to go over that section now, so it has nothing to do with the suspension. Okay, but anyways, now we're getting over the finish line and we got our final result. As you can see, the race tech suspension wins by 0.3 seconds, and as we can see from the final segment timing, all that speed was gained on the final segment, which I call the wave section segment. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you learned something about how you can do segment lap timing based on video editing. And also I want to again highlight that the race tech suspension is significantly better than the stock suspension. I think it would be 2 seconds faster if it was on the same track conditions. And in this case it ended up just being 0.3 seconds faster on rougher track conditions, which is a win. In my opinion, this method is more accurate than having somebody standing with a stopwatch next to the track. So thank you for watching, make sure you give it a like and subscribe, and see you on the next one. To watch the full version of my advanced riding videos and support the development of this channel, click the join button below and become a member. And thereby you will get access to exclusive videos where I go through the most advanced skill levels and also explaining things from a physics standpoint, because I have a background in science and thereby studying physics, so I'm able to explain actual riding technique and the mechanics of riding, also bike setup, in a way that you don't see on many other channels. Also, I share my own step-by-step methods on how I track my own progress and riding technique development. So if you're interested in that, consider becoming a member and clicking the join button. And if you like tropical island holidays, visit fitcamp5.com for my 2-time TripAdvisor award-winning training camp, where we train fitness and action sports together while learning to live a healthy lifestyle and, maybe most importantly, have fun at the same time. And if you're really serious about improving yourself, you should definitely check out my full online courses, where I share step-by-step programs on how I developed my own routines over the last 12 years as a CEO working in 4 different countries, while being a successful competitive athlete with more than 20 years of experience in fitness and nutrition. Check the link in the description for that. And in any case, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day, be awesome, believe in yourself, and see you on the next one.